Hello, today we're going to go over some unusual soakers. So in our last video we went over some of the best land soakers in the game. How do these off soakers stack up? That's what we're here to find out. So first up we're going to try the Sasquatch. Now if you didn't know, these guys can wear helmets, and that kind of makes them a soaker. The helmet gives them a damage reduction. Now of course with flak helmets you want to make sure you have a really high durability so they last longer, but let's see how well this guy soaks. Alright, he's taking 50 damage while wearing the flak helmet. When the flak helmet breaks, you're going to be taking more. Check this out. Look at how good a high durable flak helmet lasts. You can take quite a few shots before it breaks. Of course, you can whistle them back right before it breaks or after it breaks and put another one on. But, ooh, look at that. There's a huge damage reduction from wearing the flak helmet, right? And now he takes 531 damage without it. Then once we bought the flak helmet back on him, look at that. He's taking 11 damage from this flak helmet. This one must have had more armor. So the armor is important, and that's a crazy amount of armor. You're probably not going to get that. But yeah, so the armor is important, but the durability is more important. Right, because the longer the armor, the longer the helmet lasts, of course, the more bullets you'll be able to soak. Now, higher armor, as you can see, does take a higher damage reduction, which is nice. Alright, now we're going to soak tech turrets. Of course, we're using a realistic helmet for officials. Has almost 500 armor and like 1200 durability. Alright, oh! Right. Okay, yeah, so I messed up. Of course, you can't really ride this guy in, even on tech turrets, especially even if they're on tames only, because of the splash damage. So we'll whistle him in. Make sure we're on the right taming group. Alright, so you can see he's taking, 23 damage. So they can tank tech turrets pretty good as well. The cool thing is it pushes them out, so then you can check their helmet and change it out as needed. Next up is the amazing Magmasaur. While these guys are great for PvP and taking out turrets, we're about to find out how good they are at actually soaking turrets. Okay, now I didn't say this with the giant monkey, but I figure it's kind of obvious, but just like the giant monkey, if the turrets are on players only, on the Magmasaur, giant monkey, and honestly most of the other soakers you're going to be riding today, you will get shot off, especially if they're at a high enough and a good enough angle. Alright, so the Magmasaur takes 265 from a turret, so this seems to be about average for the bigger, tankier dinos. They seem to be taking about 265. We saw that with the Bronto and the Pararacer. So yeah, unless the dino has some kind of multiplier, for the most part, turrets are going to deal about 265 damage. Our heavies anyway, and then techs are probably going to deal another probably 260. So we'll go check tech turret with this guy. So you can see this guy's not getting any damage reductions. So without damage reductions, the Magmasaurs really aren't great soakers. Especially if maybe if you're mutating them for health, but you could be mutating something much better for health. Alright, yeah, as you can see we're taking 225 from a tech turret, so not amazing. Let's try if we get shot in the side here. Oh, it's kind of like the Bronto too. If we get shot in the legs, we take 98 damage from a tech turret. So moving around with tech turrets will help you soak out, but yeah. Get hit in the side is 225 as well. Of course, there are plenty of dinos that get bullet damage resistance from turrets. And then the flyers get damage increase, like 3 times extra damage. So you gotta watch that with flyers. Now, a lot of people like the Karkinos for soaking, but the Karkinos you can't really imprint on, right? So they're not really gonna ever be amazing soakers. Let's see what kind of damage reduction they get against heavy turrets here. Now, of course, the benefit of a Karkinos isn't how much they can soak, it's the fact that they can take some damage while being in range of turrets, but what they're really good for is grabbing up. So he takes 37 damage from heavies. I mean, that's not bad, right? You can get a decent amount of health on a Karkinos, but again, you're not going to get an imprint bonus. You can't have a decent saddle, but like this is a prim saddle. But again, you're not going to get that imprint bonus, and as a player, I mean, you're obviously just right out in the open. A turret or a sniper can just shoot you off. But where this comes in handy is you can grab stegos. Right, you can carry 2 stegos with players on it and walk right in and put them in range while you're slightly out of range, and soak a lot of their players only in tames turrets and just move in and out real quick. You can even use the Karkinos to grab up the enemy stegos and take them back to your base and munch on with a Giga, right? So Karkinos has a lot of uses in PvP. Definitely one you want to get, especially at high level. Alright, let's check how it does against the tech. Whoa! Oh right, I can get hit by tech while riding this guy if I'm not careful. Splash damage. Okay, so yeah, so the Karkinos is taking 375 damage from tech. Definitely don't want to get hit by tech. He's kind of like the rock golem, right? He's got a decent damage reduction against heavies, horrible damage reduction against tech. So you don't want to be riding this guy in on tech unless you just absolutely have to. Oh, you see these other random dinosaurs out here, and we'll probably wonder what those are about. We'll get into that here in a little bit. We're also going to be doing another video with water tames in it, showing how well certain water tames can soak. So you may be wondering where some of the dinosaurs have been at in these last two videos. You're probably going to see them on the water tames video. Alright, but a lot of people like to use the Reaper for soaking. I don't really use Reapers, at least not for soaking. So they're really good at controlling the battlefield with their tailspin and pushing enemy dinos around, and also knocking flyers out of the sky with their tail blasts there. Alright, but how good are they at soaking? Well, as long as you go straight forward, lift their head up in the sky, and there's not a turret with a great angle on you, you can soak players only turrets, but well, if the player's only turret ever gets an angle on you, we'll shoot you off the back of these guys, making them less useful for soaking. And also, they have a thing where I don't know if they fix this or not. Like I said, I don't soak with Reapers a lot, but during the day, even though it's not showing up here for some reason, I don't know if I have a setting wrong or not, but usually during the bright daylight like this, they take extra damage. But he's not glowing like he's going to, so I don't know what that's about. So that's why we have the light pet on us. Alright, so we will clap and turn on the light pet here, and then we'll see how much damage he's taking when the sun is out, or when they have an Reaper light going on around their base. Alright, so with the light on, he's taking 531 damage. Again, I don't know if the sun does this to them anymore or not like it used to. Alright, so he might be more useful now than they used to be, but before it was only a night in case you could use this guy in. Night in aberration. Yeah, but he takes 106 from turrets. So, I mean, as far as damage reduction goes, it's not bad. You can get a lot of hit points into a Reaper if that's what you're breeding them for, and then, clone them. But not great. Again, there are better tames for soaking heavies. But if he does happen to get hit by heavy, or, while you're in a fight, it's not a huge ordeal, right? You'll be fine. Same thing with tech turrets, right? Let's see how much damage the tech turrets deal. Texture to 150, so again, not amazing, but still not horrible. Alright, now, if he's got the light debuff going, tech turrets to 750, so yeah, avoid tech turrets with the light debuff going. But again, Reapers are good for getting in and out around turrets and doing some crazy, some really cool strategies and stuff with your jump and your knockback things. So you can really change the tide of battle. And if you're wearing really good flak, you can jump into turret range, spin some enemy dinos or players out towards your team and jump back out, and they make it out without dying. Alright, so now we're going to show you the Doedicurus, and if it's any good at soaking or not. The trick with this guy is, we're just going to probably test it on heavies because he's going to die here. But the reason for that is he's got a ball curl to actually be able to soak well. So let's get him in there. Okay, so he takes 265 just like everything else. Until the ball curls. And why would you use a Doedicurus? Well, maybe you've looted a bunch of them, or you just have a whole lot laying around your base, right? And you just want to throw them in. Honestly, almost any dinosaur can be good for that, but when he ball curls... Oh, he's taking extra damage. That... Whoa. Get out of there. That's interesting. Oh, he won't leave now. Oh. Alright. Well... Scratch that. I was always told these guys took reduced damage when they went to the ball curl, and I think they do. But I guess against turrets, they do extra damage. I'm pretty sure it used to be less damage against everything. But anyway, maybe they updated that so that you couldn't do that trick anymore. Alright, so next up, we're going to soak with some Achatinas. And this is kind of the same theory as the Doeds, right? When they go into their shell, they take reduced damage. It only takes a few sweet cake to tame high-level Achatinas. So then you throw them in cryo for a week, and then you got like 50, 60 levels you can put into their health. Doesn't mean they're going to be amazing soakers. Well, like I said, this is an off-soaker video. Now, the next trick with this Karkinos is you can throw dinosaurs. So you can chunk stegos with players with rockets ready to go into turret walls, and they can blow up turret walls that way. Alright, So let's see how well they... This horrible throw. Horrible. Alright, I can also just kind of probably carry these guys into range of the turrets and get them shot that way. Oh, that's the lag. Get in there. He's taking 318. So when he was curled up in his shell, he's taking 318. And let's see how much they take curled in their shell against the tech turret. There he goes. Oh, look at that. It's 13 damage in their shell from a tech turret. So pretty decent at soaking tech turrets. You want to just throw some random Achatinas into some of his tech turrets. Alright, now let's see how much they were taking before they went into the shell. It's taking 53 and then... Oh no! So literally he was taking 53 damage while he was outside of his... Now we'll test the Achatina from inside his outside his shell on the tech turret. Let's try not to throw him too close. Alright, so he's taking him at 123. He's still outside his shell. Alright, since I missed throwing the other guy. Let's try. Oh. Not to get very far, do we? Or maybe right here. .531, then 318. Alright, so you can see when they go in their shell, they take a little bit of reduced damage. Not great against heavies, really good against tech. So the Achatinas could be a surprise soaker. Okay, next up we have the Trilobite. Why would you soak with one of these? Well, it may be a waste of time to tame them with fish baskets, but you can just tame them with fish baskets and then throw a bunch of them into turrets. Whether or not it's a waste of time or not, or you could maybe had a better soaker in the amount of time you tamed like 100 of these little guys, you know, that's up to you. But we're going to try them anyway because they're so easy to tame. Here we go. 531 from heavies. So yeah, they don't... oh, they take extra damage from heavies. Anyway, but still, right? There's free tames basically with fish baskets. Alright. Let's try techs now. If we get it here, maybe it'll be just the tech. Sometimes just slide a little farther. 123 from techs. I mean, the tech turret seems to have trouble targeting. Alright, so there you go. If the base has a lot of tech turrets on it, you may just want to throw a bunch of Trilobites at it. just to soak up some ammunition. Alright, well, what about the giant space well? As you can see, heavies are dealing 189 damage to the space well. Not amazing, but still better than the 250, right? So it still has some damage reduction against heavy turrets. Now, you don't see a whole lot of space wells around, and so why would you want to use one of these big guys to soak turrets? Well, they might have a lot of health, but the big thing with them is going to be their cannons. So you want them to be able to take some hits while you use your cannons to fight. Alright, so we'll see how well they do against tech turrets, and then we'll show you the cannon. Now, the thing with the cannon is the players in the cannons can still be shot by players on turrets. So if you're going to use them, you need to make sure you have some players on stegos or something like that, attracting the players on turrets to shoot them. Now, of course, we're having trouble with the tech turret targeting tames for some reason. There we go. Tech turret was... oh, it's pushing us back, but it's only doing 66 damage. So these guys are actually right up there with the trike on soaking tech turrets. Look at that. Alright, but yeah, still only 66 damage, pushing us back, which is less than ideal for the next test. But alright, now, as you can see with the space well, you can get inside here if you have... of course, you have to have the Ingram for it. But once you do, as you can see, we can damage structures. Right, so this is a great way for taking out turrets. So if you can get the players only turrets soaking, and you can get a space well with it, and I mean, this thing has multiple guns attached to it, right? So you can get players in all of the guns attached to it, just bombarding the base. You can take out the turrets relatively quickly. Alright, if you enjoyed this video, smash that like button. Have an awesome day.